We bonded over both being from the dodgy suburbs of our respective towns and scholarship students in the middle of a country club set. He worked hard to earn his spot in the starting lineup, and somehow found time and energy to push me to excel too. I'd spent our first couple of months together wondering why he picked me. If I scrolled through my social media profiles or mental images of the last 4 years, his goofy grin appeared in nearly every frame. Every friendship, every club, every milestone was shared. We were Brody and Lottie, campus sweethearts, all-conference quarterback and student association vice president. We had shed our working-class histories quicker than we dropped our heavily twanged accents. Okay, yes, we'd even won homecoming king and queen. I knew deep down that it was due to our ethos, the aura surrounding our relationship, and not because I was especially beloved. But Brody was. All of campus and the entire alumni association got to fall in love with him every fall Saturday for 4 years. I certainly did. Sophomore year, my sorority great-grandbig. Yeah, I know. Got married in the TCU chapel, and I manned the guest book. Daydreaming through the vows, I imagined us at the altar instead. We'd been saying I love you for several months and using phrases like after school, even though it seemed on some distant horizon. But 2 weeks later, when Brody mentioned our kids, I called the campus wedding coordinator. I looked at the calendar and found a slim window between the NFL draft, graduation, and training camp. As every undergrad hopeful knew, if I wanted to get married in the chapel, I'd need to book it well in advance. 2 years was plenty of time for him to get around to proposing. I could even deduct the $200 fee from my on-campus spending account. Genius! Thus, with little fanfare or effort, May 5th, the Saturday after graduation, was on the books. I slowly and systematically tied my future to Brody's with the subtlest of threads. By junior year, the planning had gone well beyond our vows. He'd play in the NFL, and I'd be a card-carrying member of the Wives and Girlfriends Club. Law school could wait. It had to, since, of course, he could be drafted anywhere. I channeled all my organizational skills and energy into this new plan. I continued with my English and poli-sci double major, minoring in women's studies, but never took the LSAT, stopped applying for honor societies, and subscribed to Martha Stewart weddings. Good thing Brody never knew about the wedding date I'd set for us, which I had quietly let go a couple months prior, promising to call the campus coordinator again when the time was right. At least I was spared that particular humiliation. And since I'd caught the roommates eyeing beholden bridesmaids' dresses a time or two, I took small comfort that I wasn't the only one who felt confident that the day would come. Instead, I had no grad school, job, fellowship, internship, or relationship on the horizon, and no clue what to do next. Incredible! And now it was May 5th, so here my girlfriends and I danced. We'd donned muumuus from our spring break trip to Acapulco, feasted on Tex-Mex at Joe T's, and eventually ended up wandering the campus. We found ourselves at the site and on the night of my imagined intended nuptials. As I sat on the chapel steps, itchy from mosquitoes, I replayed how a week ago, 2 days before we donned our caps and gowns, Brody had come over to do the deed. No, not that deed. The one that involved tears and a lot of, I just don't think I can balance our relationship with my rookie season, and you'd be so bored while I played and traveled all the time. I pathetically tried to explain how low maintenance I was. It wasn't like he'd have to babysit me. I could work, get a job in whatever city he was drafted. We could make friends and build a life there together. I groveled. Basically did everything short of lying prostrate. It wasn't enough. Basically did everything short of lying prostrate. It wasn't enough. Natalia ripped a handful of roses from the bush next to the chapel doors and bunched together a sloppy bouquet. Hold these. She thrust them into my hand. She tucked a long, dark lock behind her ear, yanked me from the steps, and led me to the end of the sidewalk near the street. She cued my tipsy band of maids who began to hum, "Here Comes the Bride." It was supposed to be canon in D.